is a maintenance job where you have to maintain the love. So if you have a car, you need to get the oil changed and the brakes fixed. Love is the same way. Every now and then you have to change the brakes of your love or put on brakes, okay? Know when to stop and know when to go. Every now and then you have to change the oil of love, so to speak, okay? You have to get a tune-up. That's a whole nother workshop, baby. I don't want to get into that right now. But you need a love tune-up where you want to bring the spice back into your relationship. Go to Vicky's, Victoria's Secrets, or go somewhere and get some nice fragrances, some chocolates, some candy. And if you can't afford none of that, just get some crowns and a piece of paper. And draw what you wish you could get. You have to see it before you get it first. Am I right about that? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break. It's Conversations with Prince DaJour. We're having a great time on your radio. Our topic today is From Here to a Place Called Love. It's CBS Radio, Big Talk, 1580 with Prince DaJour. All right. Have a great time. We'll be right back.
The Big Talker.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where your voice is heard.
The number one fear among seniors is outliving their money. Don't let this happen to you. Call Glenn Abrams right now. 1-877-MY-YIELD. For years, Glenn has helped seniors throughout the area keep their retirement nest eggs safe. Call 1-877-699-4353. 877-MY-YIELD. And make sure to check out the Safe Money Retirement Show presented by Glenn Abrams Tuesday mornings at 9.
Attention business owners, this is Tony Robbins. I've spent the last 3 decades helping companies create serious business breakthroughs, and I want to help you like never before.
And this is Chet Holmes, author of the #1 business book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. If you've heard my radio spots before, maybe you don't know that about 2,000 action-oriented business owners call us every week to get our free reports. But it was Tony Robbins that challenged me to go even further for you.
Chet and I have built a serious training program called 4 Ways to Double Sales in 12 months.
And here's what Tony convinced me to do.
We're going to give this to any business owner who calls us at 800-661-0600. Just call with your email address, and we'll email you this phenomenal audio training program at our expense, not yours.
It's a heck of a gift. See if you agree. 4 Ways to Double Sales in 12 months.
Call and leave us a voicemail with your email, and we'll give you a program that others have paid dearly to receive. Call right now, 800-661-0600.
Do you own a home or have plans to in the future? Don't miss Real Estate Radio Washington with Ryan Sloper, Mondays at 2 p.m. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, listen to Real Estate Radio Washington with Ryan Sloper, Mondays at 2 p.m. right here on the Big Talker, 1580 a.m.
Tune in to Biz Talk with Josh Smith on Thursdays at 9 a.m. starting September 23rd. To hear entrepreneurs, small business owners, corporate executives, and elected officials discuss issues, developments, and concerns that impact businesses domestically and globally. Biz Talk with Josh is hosted by Joshua I. Smith, entrepreneur, multiple Fortune 500 board member, and former President George H.W. Bush appointee. Only on the Big Talker, 1580 a.m. For more Star Talk fun with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, tune in every Wednesday 2 to 3 p.m. on the Big Talker, 1580 a.m. And don't forget to friend us on Facebook at facebook.com/Star Talk Radio.
The Center for Advanced Wound Healing and Hyperbaric Medicine at United Medical Center is a comprehensive outpatient facility designed for the treatment of chronic, non-healing wounds. Every wound is unique, and UMC has the technology and the experience to address each one. Most treatments are covered by Medicare, Medicaid, HMO, and commercial insurance. If you suffer from diabetic ulcers, burns, traumatic wounds, or other chronic non-healing wounds, call the Center for Advanced Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine at 202-574-7222. That's 202-574-7222.
Talking up DC. It's the Big Talker, 1580.
All right, Conversations with Prince DaJour, and we're back. We're celebrating Love's Holiday. It's Valentine's weekend. From Here to a Place Called Love is our topic today. We're having a great time. Let's make some noise, ladies. They over there putting on makeup and getting all cute. Look, they're over there getting all cute for Valentine's Day. Look, this is only Friday, but this is Valentine's weekend, right? And so we're talking about a topic from here to a place called love. We talked about how if you want to be found, you have to know your location like a GPS system. Love is like a GPS system. It wants to know what your location is and what your final destination is. Many of us know how to tell you where we're located sometimes because we always do it from a premise of feeling good. Hey, I feel good, so that's a great place to start right here, baby. That's what they're thinking. Feeling good is a great place to start, but guess what? It feels good now, but later on, it won't feel too good when you don't even know where your final destination is. And if you don't know where your final destination is, you'll end up anywhere. It's kind of like getting in the car with somebody, and you ask them, hey, can I ride with you? But you never ask them where they're going. So you get in the car and just ride around in circles, and now you're late for your appointment because you never figure out where they were going. So now they end up going somewhere completely opposite of where you really wanted to go. But if you didn't know where you wanted to go, then you just ride around, but you realize it doesn't look familiar to me. This doesn't feel like love to me. This doesn't seem like Love Boulevard. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like Love Street. And so if you understand what Love Street looks like, then you can identify where to go and where not to go. If you can identify love in the eyes of the person that you're looking with and know that based on how I'm looking in your eyes, I can see that you're going the same place I'm going. I want to ride with you, boo. Okay? Right. You heard that? I want to ride with you, boo. You know, that's what they say, right? And so that's what it's all about. But you know what made me think about how, you know, when at the very beginning in the onset of a relationship, when a couple is still infatuated with each other, you know, you don't seem to need much to keep the relationship going because you're still enjoying that emotional chemical high. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, when those dopamines and everything is flowing through your body, you're really excited. You expect very little from the person when you first meet him because you're thinking, girl, he is so cute. Girl, he is so fine. You don't even see that he has an eye in the middle of his forehead. You know what I mean? or fellas, we checking the ladies out. We say, man, look at that body. Oh, my God. Speaking of Beyonce, we were talking to Beyonce earlier. But the thing is, we look at the body, we look at the exterior part of a person, and we expect very little from them. And you feel great about it. You're at that stage where you're still sort of trying to prove and please each other. But expectations change, okay, as the relationship deepens. Now, the further you get into your relationship and it deepens, that's when your expectations begin to change. Now, he was that same good-looking guy with the nice body. She was that same fine lady. But now that you've dated her for 3 months or 6 months, and you've seen her with rollers in her hair. No, they don't do rollers anymore, right? Okay, flat irons, whatever, okay.
Right.
Well, now you see her with whatever's in her hair.
Or the weave comes off.
Or the weave comes on.
Right.
And I'm not trying to knock weaves. I'm down with it as long as it's cool. Or the guy, you see him not dressed all up and all, you know, all made up the way he was when you first met him. Now, all of a sudden, your expectations change, you know. And when you're not getting, we talked about people loving you how you need to be loved, right?
That's right.
That's what we talked about earlier. And of course, when you're not getting those needs met according to how you feel that's needed to love you, he may be a great guy, but he doesn't pay you any attention. He may be a great guy, but he doesn't bring you flowers or he'll send you cards, or he never email you and what is that, Twitter you? I'm just trying to figure it. Twitter you, whatever it's called. You know? Twitter, okay. So, you know, he doesn't say, I'm old school. You know, just call me, baby.
Right.
Tell me straight up what you want. I don't have time to read texts and all that kind of stuff, okay?
Exactly.
I'm just joking, y'all. But the truth is, the expectations change later in the relationship. When you're not getting your needs met, and that's when your partner can do anything, they can attempt to do anything, but somehow whatever they do seems to irritate you. You ever notice that? At the onset, it was beautiful because she's so fine, man. She got pretty eyes. Look at her body. Look how handsome he is. And even for the church folk, girl, he loves the Lord. Girl, I saw him preaching, and he's in ministerial school, and he carries the pastor's Bible. I know he's going to be a great husband, but guess what? When you take him home, he's still a man. And he's still a human being, and he still needs to be loved a particular kind of way. Even pastors need to be loved a particular kind of way, okay? Even the president needed to be loved a particular kind of way, to the point where he chose how he wanted to be loved his own way, okay? And I'm not knocking anybody, but it's real, okay? And so you begin to get annoyed and irritated. You begin to argue about little things, but never really getting to the real issue at hand, you know? And it's all because of unrealistic expectations. That's another thing we can kind of go into right now. I think a lot of times in relationships, we fail because of unrealistic expectations. You know, and I believe that we go into the relationship because mama and different people in your family, while you were raised as a little girl or a little boy, gave you a belief system that a man is supposed to act a particular kind of way. A lady is supposed to act a particular kind of way. But what if you meet somebody who doesn't fit the bill according to what mama told you, or what, you know, even some of your church members told you, or your coworkers told you, but love is still in the person's heart? You may just miss love because you didn't recognize it when it showed up, because it didn't look like what you thought it should look like.
That's
I feel like I'm not trying to preach, but I feel like I'm preaching to somebody. Good God,
right on.
But you know what, DaJour, I have a girlfriend, and on her wedding day, her grandmother came in the room. She was getting her wedding dress on, came in the room and said, "Baby, do you love him?"
Wow.
And she said, "Yeah, like, why would you ask me that? I'm getting
What kind of
married
question
to
is
him."
that?
And she said, "I'm just making sure because you have to love him, because there's going to be times that you don't even like him."
Wow.
That's right.
You know, that's funny that you said that lyric.
Yeah.
That's actually, I even wrote that down in my little notes, because one thing I talk about in my book, From Here to a Place Called Love, is it is possible to love somebody and not like them. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this, and it is a harsh reality. But my whole thing is I'm an advocate for you need to like the one you love.
Oh, absolutely.
Matter of fact,
That
I
is
even
so
believe personally, and
important.
it's just my own opinion, I believe that liking is even twice as important than even loving, and I'll tell you why.
I
See,
agree.
love brings you to the door, but like keeps you in the door. And I believe that love is very important. It's what undergirds us, is what we need spiritually and practically, because you have to love. But love is only as good as the maintenance job.
Oh, yeah. Don't get it confused with lust.
That's right. With lust, that's too.
With
Because
lust.
lust is
You
what
get it
you see.
confused.
Lust is what you see. Lust pretty much primarily deals with your senses. You know, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch, what you see. But as we know, our taste buds change on a regular basis. Today I want Chinese food. Tomorrow I want sushi. Hint, hint, I like sushi, y'all, by the way. All right. The next day I may want Jamaican. So how many wives and husbands will you have?
Absolutely.
If your taste buds change like food, then that means on a regular basis, you will always be falling in and out of love. Go ahead, Tina.
You know, and that brings a point to mind. I'm going to tell you, ladies, if you don't like your partner, when the relationship starts to fall apart, everything he does or she does is going to agitate you and irritate
right.
you.
That's what we just
From
said.
the way he brushes his teeth to the way he puts on his shoes.
Pick up that remote
So I'm going
control.
to tell you,
Yes.
it's so
Look, some
important
ladies
to
look at you
that
like, you're
mate.
so stupid. Look how you pick up that remote control. You're looking goofy, you know. And all he did was pick up a remote control, but everything he does or she
Right.
does
You know I was
irritates you.
watching that.
Right. I was watching
I'm gonna turn
Lifetime.
the
What's wrong with you?
channel.
You want to watch the Super Bowl, you know? But that's true. I mean, you begin to get irritated because you're looking through irritated eyes.
Yes.
See, it's not about what the man or woman, what they're doing. It's about the eyes that you look through when you see them. They said beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but it's who are you beholding and how are you beholding them? And I really think it has a lot to do with belief systems, the belief system that you've been brought up oftentimes, Tina and Lyric. We have belief systems that are not even our own. Most people that I counsel and talk to in workshops, most of what they feel from the clothes they wear to what kind of man or woman they're looking for is because of a belief system that somebody gave them. From television, movies, music, their mama, third generation, their church. They try to get the man that the church may want them to marry. You have to choose who God designed,
Yes.
who can equip you and undergird you according to how you need to be loved. Speaking of that, President Obama and his wife Michelle, I mean, a lot of people are looking at them on Ebony and Jet and seeing them as being
Right.
a premier black couple. And I think they're
Yes.
real. That's why I love them. You know, Michelle Obama said something I think it was very profound. It was an article, I believe, and I forgot what magazine it was in, but Barack and Michelle Obama, it was a portrait of an American marriage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and she was
Yeah, I
always,
remember
she said
reading
she was
that.
always bitter and angry at Barack Obama all the time. She came out and said it. She said, he was killing me with constant criticism. Now, this is the first family, they were being real with this thing. But then she came back and said, the reason why I think I was so bitter, I had to change my heart around towards my husband. We were so, we were grinding, trying to pay bills. He was this political figure in the community. Late nights out, he was never home. I was never home. We both were lawyers. We forgot to love one another.
That's
And so
deep.
Michelle came back in this interview and she said, and I'm reading this verbatim quote, I forgot about the guy that I fell in love with. I was pushing Barack to become something that I wanted him to be for me. I was depending on him to make me happy. That's a very important point because who are you depending on to make you happy? Nobody really can make you happy. If you're not happy already, no matter how many chocolates that I buy you, how many
right.
Victoria's Secret outfits you can you can
right.
change your clothes like Wonder Woman 25 times in one night, baby. I mean, the bottom line is that if you don't allow me to be me, and she said the key word is who I wanted him to be for me. That's sort of a sign of selfishness. Because oftentimes we want people to be what we need them to be to make us feel good. But what are you doing to make me feel good? It needs to be a fair exchange. It needs to be reciprocated. Am I right?
That's right.
I believe so.
Absolutely.
Once Michelle got a hold of it, she said, you know what? I'm going to love my man according to how he needs to be loved. And guess what? Now he's the president of the United States of America. Now, guess what? Fellas, if you're listening right now, or ladies, don't put the brothers down because they lost a job, or you may be in love with a guy who has bad credit. Don't let all these people get in your head and make you think that if he doesn't drive a Porsche, if he doesn't have a mansion on the hill, that he's not the right man. He may be a brother struggling on the come up. He may be the brother at the bottom of a mountain, but guess what? If you hanging in long enough, he's going to be at the top of the mountain, and you can go shopping all day long, baby.
Okay.
You may not be able to shop right now in the Valley experience. You're doing some Valley shopping right now. But soon you'll be able to shop at the top of the mountain. And here's another example before we go to break. I'm going to take a quick break. Hillary Clinton said something that was very profound. Somebody asked her in an interview, Hillary, aren't you so happy to be the first lady of the United States of America? This is when President Clinton was the president. And she said, well, I'm really excited. And they said, well, what was it like with any of your other boyfriends previously before you met Bill Clinton? She said, well, honey, and they said, aren't you so glad you didn't marry the last guy you dated? Because she had dated this guy. But check this out, James Brown. She dated this guy who was a gas station attendant down south somewhere. I think it was down south in New York somewhere, but it was a small remote town. Hillary Clinton was dating a guy who was a gas station attendant, and guess what they told her? Aren't you glad you didn't hook up with him and marry Bill instead? She said, and the answer just blew me away. I love it. She said to me, well, I said, she didn't say it to me, but it felt like she said it to me.
We understand what you meant.
It felt like she was talking to me.
Right.
She said, no, because if I would have married the gas station